Are you somebody who started a business? Do you own a business? Are you in the beginning stages of business? Or did you ever actually start a business? Maybe you're working a 9 to 5. Maybe you're trying to say, you know what, I'd love to have a side hustle. Well, if that's you, then we're going to have a great conversation tonight because we're going to talk about how to leverage social media for your business. So I just want to welcome you to the night. Let's put some mood music on. Nope, don't let. There we go. Turn that down a little bit. I'm welcome to the show. If you're just let me know where you are chatting from. Hey, listen, thank you so much, Natalie, for coming in. So we'll be all right. We got you. We got you. So here's the thing. So tonight, question of the night is, do you own a business? If so, what business do you own? Do you own a business? And if so, what business do you own? What do you do? What do you do? Right? Or did you, if you don't own a business, did you ever want to start a business? Right? And if so, what type of business do you want to start? I think that's a huge question. Like, what is it that you want to do? That's the question of the night as we get into our conversation about leveraging social media. You know, we talk about this each and every week on the Everyday Leader Live, and I am grateful for each and every one of you guys here. Natalie here tells us she is a coach. I coach mamas. Yes, coach mamas that want to get back to loving themselves. I love that. If I could say anything, I love that because so often mamas are forgotten, or they at least give their identity over to their children. They give their identity over to everything else but what they wanted to do in life. And with that being said, mamas are an incredible niche audience that reach out and say, hey, listen, I want to get back to loving yourself. So that is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Tonight, we're talking about social media. How do you leverage social media, guys? Like, what do you do? Do you treat social media as your business? Or do you treat social media as just something you jump on, something you do in order to just engage? And either way is okay. Either way is perfectly fine. But I want to tell you, this is the big thing. How you treat it will determine the outcome of what you get. How you treat your social media, how you treat your business is going to determine the outcome that you get. So without further ado, we're going to jump into some of this today, right? If you're here with me, let me know in the chat, say hello, get down there. Let me know you're here. I would love to have these conversations because here's the one thing, guys. I've got some content for you. I've got some things I'm going to share, and I'm going to share some insights that I've learned along the way. And I really want you to grow your business. I want you to take the leadership lid off of your life so that you can impact the people you were meant to impact by your God-given design, your God-given purpose, right? So with that being said, I have content. Listen, you've been on my show maybe before. You know I can talk. You know I have plenty to talk about. But what I love more than anything else is I love when you guys ask questions. I love it when you guys and you and I are sitting here having a conversation because guess what? This show is for you. Because I love the community of people that's growing and that's part of my sphere, part of my world. You guys matter. You guys matter to me very much. So I would love to have that conversation. So, my wife is here. She says, I don't know one yet, but I want to start one. That's all right. Well, honey, my wife, tell us, what kind of business do you want to start? What do you want to do? And if you don't know, that's okay too. But just let us know in the comments, what do you want to start? All right, without further ado, let's get into this. And I just kind of shut everything down. Do you ever have those things where you hit the button and you're like, oh my goodness, I hit the button? Well, guess what I just did? I hit the button. My buttons are broken. So let me give me 1 second to fix this. So let's ask that question one more time. Michelle saying, yes, you can talk. Hey, Michelle, you know I can talk, girl. You know I can talk. Let me ask this one other question while I fix the back thing up here. How are you showing up for your business? How are you showing up for your business? Are you showing up for your business? That's the bigger question. How are you showing up to your business, guys? That's going to be a huge, huge question. I'm going to stop my sharing on my thing because I got a PowerPoint. I love my PowerPoints. And my PowerPoint just said, you know what? It hated me. You see this thing? So we're going to not show you that for a second because I want to actually get this with you. Love it when these things go. All right, here we go. We're good now. We're going to start. So everybody if we're without further ado, we're going to, yeah. All right. Got my sounds, got everything else. Let's do this, guys. Let's talk about growing your business. Let's talk about growing your life on social media. Let's talk about what your business looks like. Let's talk about all of that. And with that being said, the one thing I want to get into your heart, the one thing I want to get in your head, and this is if you started a business, want to start a business, this is if you're anywhere in between, right? Because here's the deal. Or maybe you're just like, you know what, I'm watching because this guy's cool, and yeah, we'll take that. But maybe you don't even want to start a business. This is a truth that is I found in the course of the last 20, 30 years of me doing life and leadership and things like that. And it's this: if you're not getting the results that you want, right? My wisdom bombs, you're not getting the results you want, check your input, because you get out of what you put in, right? If you want out of life something, you get what you put in. So if you don't get the results that you want, check your input. Get back to the place to where you find out what you're putting inside. What are you doing? How are you showing up? How are you managing? Matter of fact, do you even know how to leverage the platforms that you've chosen to be on for your business? That's a huge question. A lot of people are using social media and they don't know the platform. And they'll just take one thing and share it on 16 different social medias, or they'll be like, hey, listen, I'm going to do a Facebook Live and I'm just going to post it on YouTube, or I'm going to do a TikTok and post it on Instagram Reels, not realizing that each and every platform has a set of rules. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But again, if you have lazy things or you do lazy things, then you're going to get lazy results, and you're going to wonder why you're not getting the results that you want. So what you get out of life is what you put into life. And if you're not putting in your all, if you don't understand where you're putting it to, guess what? Here we are. We're going to get what we put in. So let's, with that in mind, that's what we want to start with. I want to get in here, and you guys in here, hello, Facebook user, and those guys, I will get to you guys in a second. I want to get this show on the road, and because your business matters, right? And I'll acknowledge all you guys coming in as you come in. Your business matters. Your business matters. Here's a good question. Do you literally believe that what you do you believe that how you show up, do you believe that everything that you're about, everything that you're designed to do you believe it changes lives? Do you believe that you have the potential to change somebody's life with your story, to change somebody's life with your business, to change somebody's life with you showing up in that specific way? If the answer is yes, then it is selfish not to offer your business. It is selfish not to learn the ins and outs of building a business in order to get your product, your services, your story out to the world so that you can be the person that God has created you to be, to impact the people you're created to impact. This is where it comes down to. And if you are somebody that's going to be this person who's going to leverage this, you've got to understand and come to a place. Your business matters, guys. And say that in the comments. Be like, my business matters, because most of this is about overcoming the challenges that will hold us back, those mindsets. We think that our business is like, I'm just doing business. No, your business is a certain thing with a certain place with a certain thing and all this stuff that's going to be leveraged to change lives, right? So whatever that is, it truly, truly matters. And here's the thing. So let me get on. Now remember, here's my little box, right? I created my little soapbox moment. And we're going to do my soapbox moment right here, because my soapbox moment is, if you're not showing up powerfully, who is not going to get breakthrough because you're not showing up powerfully, right? Who is not getting the breakthrough because you haven't shown up? Who is not getting the thing that's needed because you decided to be selfish and not come out there because you're living in fear? Because if you're living in fear, if you're living in this place of, I'm not going to do this because I'm afraid of rejection, it is selfish. Right? And if you're being selfish, if I'm being selfish and not showing up as my powerful self, then guess what happens? People don't get what we have. God is not working through us. And therefore, the chain of all sorts of stuff that you could have been part of this huge blessing is not happening. And then you sit in the corner and be like, oh, woe is me. I wish I was being used more. Well, you can be used more. Just begin to show up. Right? Begin to show up. That's going to be the biggest crux of a lot of this, is showing up is half the battle, right? Y'all watch G.I. Joe back in the day. It's like, yo, G.I. Joe, the half the battle stuff. Yeah, this is half the battle. So when we get in there, it's okay. It will be okay. So let's acknowledge some of you guys in the comments here. We're loving this. We're loving. So here, Freddie there. Hey, bro, I'm an artist. Not much business there, but it is self-fulfilling. You know what? I'm going to tell you, Freddie, here's the deal, man. It is a business. When you start treating it like a business, when you start leveraging as a business, it will be a business and you get what you put out of it. You are talented. I've heard your stuff. So treat it like a business. If you're an artist, you can create a full business out of that artwork and be fulfilled and make money while you're being fulfilled. I think that's the hugest thing right there. We got somebody else here, Mary. I would love to coach people on how to allow the Lord to lead them in the midst of mental illness. Oh my gosh. Do you know how many people lives would be changed because you showed up like that? That's my wife, by the way. For all of you guys who are watching, Mary is my wife. We share a last name. We share a house and all those things. We love each other. And I love how much she's coming along and what she's doing and how God's gifted her. But yeah, honey, I'm going to tell you right now, if you show up like that, if you begin to say, yo, I'm not going to listen to the lies and I'm going to show up in a powerful, powerful way, then guess what? You are going to get to that place where you're actually doing the very things that you really are called to do. And that's helping people in the same situation that you are. So therefore, stop making excuses. This is not just to you. This goes to everybody. Stop making excuses and show up. That's really what it comes down to. That's what it is. And just got to go one more time because that's the wife. You got to get a little George Michael going. Yeah. So anyway, but it's about showing up. Let's now some other things. Michelle, welcome, Michelle. Yes, Jim, I know. I have what people need. Do you, Michelle? I literally have no clue what to do. Listen, this is what this is for. This is what these are for. Part of what I do as coaching and business is help people build platforms and get their messages out there and things like that, build YouTube, just different things like that. So here's the deal. It's okay not to know, but it's not okay not to share, right? It's not okay to be afraid. You may feel fear, but do it afraid anyway. And I'm being that straightforward because there are people like, I know your story, Michelle. I've seen your story. There are people who need you. There are people who want you and they're waiting for you to show up. So it's okay not to know what to do. Where the challenges are you going to do what's needed in order to show up? That's the really deal. In order to find out how to do these things, or at least get somebody in your life to get somebody in your life who's going to help you. That's the bigger thing. And I'm going to tell you right here, my buddy Daryl's in here. He says, careless whispers. Careless whispers, man. All right, good seeing you guys. Let's jump back into some of this stuff. Boom. So we're going to jump into 5 ways on how to grow your social media, guys. 5 ways on how to use your social media to grow a business. And again, whatever you're selling. And Daryl, I know Daryl a little bit here. He is selling solar energy, the solar pads. We got some on our house. You can leverage social media in order to sell solar instead of just going all to the doors. You guys who are coaches, that's a no-brainer. You guys who are selling books and authors and all those other things, no-brainer, guys. Got to get into the social media. So I'm going to give you 5 things, how to think, how to frame your thoughts, how to really start getting into this place where you're going to leverage it to a place where you're going to sell the thing that you know is going to change lives. And that's really what it comes down to. So let's remove this chat right there and let's go to number 1. Go where your people are. Go where your people are. Okay. That's number 1. Go where your people. Well, you're like, Jim, I don't know who my people are. Well, number 4, if we're going to do number 1, find out who your people are. Define your audience. Define the people that you say, I want to serve. That's the number 1 thing. Who do you want to serve? Who needs your services? Don't go for everybody. If you hit everybody, if you go after everybody, you'll hit nobody. Let's just say that first. So with that being said, you want to actually define the people you want to target. Now, with that, with everything is go where they are. So if you're targeting an audience, where do they hang out? You hear that so often, guys. Where do they hang out? But you know what? No people, no profit. So if you're a business trying to sell and you don't have an audience, you're not going to make money. So we have to build an audience. Don't come out swinging, blazing with offers until you have an audience to give the offer to. Like, I'm continually building audiences. How? I show up weekly for my lives. I post on certain social medias. I don't post on all of them. I pick certain ones that I know my audience lives at, and this is my growth points. And then I give my audience what they want. See, the same thing for you. Where does your audience hang out? There are people right now who need solar, but you're not going to knock on their door, but they're on social media. Where would they hang out for that? Where would you find them? I would say a Facebook group for real estate agents would be a number 1 place to start looking, right? You guys who are coaches, what do you coach in? Find out where they hang out. I'm finding one of my coaches, my mentor, Owen Video, said he's on Reddit and he's getting a lot of leads from Reddit. I never thought about using Reddit, right? Go where your people are. So you have to really say, who are you reaching? Now, for me, I'm reaching a lot of entrepreneurs and wantrepreneurs, the people who are in 9 to 5s and want to get out of 9 to 5s and actually start that side hustle, and the people who are in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship and they want to grow. Faith-based is usually where I'm drawing the most from. And with that being said, there are certain places that I know they hang out. So I'm there. Where am I? I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube primarily. Do I have a little bit of a presence on Instagram? Yeah, I do. But I'm mainly on YouTube and Facebook. Those are my primary places because that's where my people hang out. So it's understanding who are your people and then where do they go, right? So it's I found it so funny. Like, so if you really want to think about this, it's like, where would they spend the most time? Like if you were you 5 years ago, because that's usually who your people are, is you 5 years ago. If you were you 5 years ago, where would you spend your most time? Where would you hang out the most on social media? Like for me, I don't watch TV, but I watch hours of YouTube. And then I scroll through Facebook and these are my platforms. What about you? Let me know in the comments. What is your number one platform that you're on? And how do you leverage that? What is your number one platform and how do you leverage that? So if the first one is dealing with go where your people are, then the second one is really, you've got to treat social media like a business. And I think there's a problem. If you really get to the key to this, we waste so much time and so much energy building wrong. And there's this dichotomy, there's this challenge, this pull that says, am I going to use social media for personal? Am I going to use it for business? It's like that whole thing. I used to be a pastor, right? So I've stepped down from being a pastor, but I'm in business full time. I'm loving my business. I love being an entrepreneur. But there was a portion in my time where I was like, oh, I have to be a pastor. I have to be a businessman. I can't, you just push and pull. And it's like this pull, right? No, we waste so much time and energy trying to figure out this and figure out that and do this. Here's the deal. Make a decision and go with it. I don't generally use my social media for personal places. Like, are you going to see pictures of some crazy things on there? 100%. Like, I love, and I'm a fun personality, and I love posting memes, and I love meme wars. And listen, my second language, I speak a second language, and those are GIFs, right? So if you ever see me in some of your comments, you'll see me on the Facebook, and I'm like the GIF master. Like, I will speak GIF, right? And memes, I love memes. So we do a lot of that. I do a lot of funny things, but some of the things I do is all surrounded around a topic, and that's leadership, visibility, platform growth, things like that, personality. But the deal is that, guys, is the number one decision that you've got to stop agonizing over is, are you going to treat your social media, whatever platform you're on? Don't be on all of them, okay? Unless you're making 6-7 figures, you do not need to be on all of them. You just pick one major and maybe a secondary, but be on something, right? Be on one of the social medias and own that. And then when you grow that to a level, you move it to the next place, right? So own the social media platform that you're on. That's how you lead, guys. That's how you lead, is you lead from one place and you expand from there. Many of us, including me, I had what is it? The shiny object syndrome. Have you ever dealt with that? Have you ever dealt with shiny object syndrome? Right? I deal with it all the time. I'm like, oh, look, squirrel. Oh, look at the squirrel. Like, right. And then you get like random chicken noises all over the place. And you just like, it's crazy. You're like, it's like, oh, you get all these things and you're like, oh my gosh, look at this and look at this. And I'm a victim of that, right? I do that. But here's what I know. When I made the decision, right? We waste so much time and energy. But when I made the decision to say, I'm going to be on these platforms and I'm going to be on, this is how I'm going to treat it, right? All that excess energy of me fretting and figuring this out and doing this was gone. Like, it was like I took this off and threw it to the side. And when I did that, I said, now I can breathe. And when I was in my prayer time, I was like, YouTube is my number one platform because I need to be on video. And I love Facebook Live video. And hello, all my family and friends over there on Facebook. Listen, but the difference is why I choose this as my primary video outlet is because things on YouTube live forever. Things on Facebook live for an hour or two, maybe 3 or 4, and then it passes by. It's like a billboard. You drive by, oh, look, alive, that's cool, and then you keep on driving. You'll never see it again. So I choose to do certain things with certain platforms, right? But I made that decision. And everything I go from that place is saying, hey, listen, you're going to get some personal stuff from me because I am very authentic. I'm very relational. I want to be there. But the reality of it is I am growing a business because I believe the best way for me to show up, the best way for me to help you is to give you what God has put in me. Because I know, and I have proof of hundreds of people whose lives have been changed, right? But that's why I show up. And I'm going to tell you, I love people to the point where everybody's my friend, right? Everybody, I love people. But we waste so much time and effort, so much energy trying to figure out this versus that. And over here, we live in a generation of overthinkers. Let's just say it that way. Let's say it that way. And you guys in the comments, I'll acknowledge you guys in 1 minute. But here's the deal. We live in a generation of overthinkers. Well, what if I do this? And what if people reject me? And what if this happens? And what if I want to do this? And what if I want to do that? Listen, you don't have to pick to the place where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't figure this out. What if I pick wrong? This is no right or wrong answer. If you want certain platforms to be completely for personal, then use it for personal. If you want it to be for your business, use it for your business. But try not to mix the two because messages get muddled. Things get all over the place. And we're going to cover this in a few minutes. And I will do other videos on how to look at things like this and get into these places where you can truly grow and truly build. But I want you to be able to just make a decision. Like right now, what is your platform? What is your chosen platform? What is the platform that is yours? Like you say, I am here. This is where my biggest social media presence is, right here. Let me know in the comments. And as I do that, as you guys do that, I'm going to acknowledge some of you guys here. Freddie, man, you are my people too, dude. You are my people, man. I love it, dude. I love it, love it, love it. My people. ADHD. I don't know if I have ADHD or entrepreneurial ADHD. It's one or the other, or maybe even both. But yes, it is part of that. Hello, Jessica. Good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love having you here. Hey, guys, as we do this, right? I do say if you have any questions, because I know I give a lot of content. I know I give a lot of stuff, but I'm trying to give you as much value as I can in a short amount of time. But here's the deal. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. Let's have a conversation because I want to scratch your itches. Now, I've got a couple more points here that I want to share. And if we get to it, great. If we don't get to it, that's always another show. But I want to scratch your itches. And if I can scratch your itches, I know that you're going to leave here better than you were. And that's really what I want to do. So there we go. We're part of the X-Files now. See, I love these sounds, by the way, guys. That's just your ADHD moment in its finest right there. So let's go back to the chat, guys. So let's see. So let's go on to the next one. Let's go on to the next one. So, guys, and make sure you let me know in the chat. Do you see these things? Oh, that's what I wanted to do right there. Number 3. Let's pull this up there. Boom! So good. I love this thing. If you're not using Restream, there's a Restream, link in my bio, in my description. If you want to use Restream, dude, go get it. It's free. Just go get it, man. I love this platform. That was brought to you by your friendly neighborhood Restream. So here's the deal. So I want to tell you, know your platform rules. Okay, so pick your platform and then know the rules of the platform. If you violate the rules, then the platform will not support you. Like here's the deal. I hear so many people crying, oh, the algorithm hates me. No, your content either sucks or you're violating the rules and the content and the algorithm's not going to show your content. You got to look at one of those two things, man. And I'm going to tell you, hopefully it's just that you're violating the rules. But like if your content like legit just sucks, then you need to get better content. Look at your content and how people are interacting with it. And then if it's not good, just increase the ability to have better content. Just end of story. But here's the deal. Know the rules of the platform. If I'm on Facebook, or let me just say this, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all those guys want to keep you on their platform. So if I do things that are going to take you off of their platform, they're not going to be as happy. So if I help the algorithm keep people on the platform, then the algorithm will love me and give me more people to see my stuff. And you've got to know the rules. Like, here's one of the rules. Like, I was doing some research and doing some things. Now, I don't do any of the reels on Instagram, and I don't do TikToks yet. I thought about doing some of them. Could you see me like doing like some of those TikToks where I'm just like, learning how to white man shuffle or twerk or something? That would be crazy. I'll be blind and everything would be crazy like that. So we're not going to do that, but I may do some inspirational things. But here's the deal. So like I'm seeing a lot of these things where people from TikTok who are having amazing success on TikTok are just downloading TikTok and uploading it to Instagram Reels, right? Well, with that being said, Instagram just literally put out this statement, but I don't know if it was public or behind the scenes, but I was talking to somebody who does Instagram, and they literally said those people who are downloading the TikToks who have the watermark TikTok, Instagram is going to start taking like views from them because they want people to do things on their own platform and not repurpose it like that, specifically with the watermark. You guys, and I'll tell you, maybe 4 years ago, I started a YouTube channel. I failed miserably. Like I completely quit YouTube for like 3 or 4 years because I was like, oh, and what I would do was I thought it was like, oh, do a Facebook Live, download the Facebook Live and just upload it to YouTube. That's not how YouTube works. Like I've paid thousands of dollars to one of the best coaches on YouTube to learn how to do YouTube. You don't just download a live and just upload it on YouTube. No, you've got to make your content for the audience you're going for. Right. And so when you know the platform rules, the platform will actually support you. So again, there are two things you need to understand. When you're on your platform and your people are not seeing your stuff, either A, your content sucks, right? Or you're not following the rules of the platform. Like the algorithms are not written to hurt you. They're written in order to promote you, but you got to work with it. Give them something to work with, guys. Give them something to work with and have a strategy. Listen, again, it goes back to number 2. Are you treating your business? Are you treating your not your YouTube, but you treating your social media as a business or just a conglomeration of places where you're just dumping your thoughts and hoping somebody catches something? Because if you're just doing that where you're dumping your thoughts, hoping people catch something, nobody's going to catch anything. People are not going to trust you because there's no consistency. And then your sales are going to be super low because nobody wants to buy from you. And because nobody buys from people that have no idea what their message is, right? And that's really what it is. So you have to have a strategy, right? And so with that being said, your strategy has to match your platform. And so what my mentor has been saying, he's really huge on YouTube. What my mentor was saying is make sure whatever platform you decide, whatever platform you choose, that the strategy matches the platform and that you're working within the parameters of that platform. When you do that, the actual platform will help you. Don't fight against it and then blame the platform for your bad stuff. Don't fight against it and blame the platform for you not doing what you're supposed to be doing on the platform, right? Work with it. Let it be able to get you to a place, right, to where it's promoting you. But again, it goes back. Stop wasting energy being brain dump. Stop wasting energies being at a place where it's like, blah, you just throw up all your thoughts and then you wonder why nobody responds. Leverage it as a business, guys. Leverage it as a means for additional income, for additional places of impact, all of those things, because these are the places that you and I need to leverage them. Because guess what? On Facebook is like the 3rd largest country in the world or something. Like it's like legitimately, there's like 1 billion people on Facebook at any given time, right? It's more than that. I think it was like 2.13 billion people I read earlier, or maybe that was an older stat. YouTube has 1 billion people every day, but it's also uploading like 500 million videos a day, something like that. And don't quote me on the numbers. So all you guys fact checkers in the in the comments, listen, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not a numbers guy, but I know it's up there. I do know that there's like somewhere like 1 billion people on Instagram, and there's like 300 million on Twitter, and like 350 or 306 on LinkedIn, something like that, right? There's tons of people. So whatever platform you're picking, stick with it. Have a plan for that platform, but treat your stuff as a business and go after it. Go after it, because guess what? You have a business that people need. You have something inside of you that people want, right? That you may not even know it yet, but there's something inside of you. And it's not a money issue, because money comes where value is. But the difference is learning to find your audience, learning to leverage the platform, learning the rules, and having a strategy to go after it, right? That's really what it comes down to. And so here, let's do number 4. I should do the drum roll thing, right? We do the I'm going to get better at hitting the sounds when I'm supposed to, because we can always do no, right? So we'll get better at that every single time. But I want you to understand, guys, remember it's about serving. Remember it's about serving. And let's just have a moment, right? Let's just have a moment together. Lean in with me for a second, because here's the deal, guys. We get so wrapped up in need to make the money, need to make the paycheck, need to make the business grow, need to do this, that we forget who we're serving. Right? We forget what we're serving for. That's the key point. Don't forget why you started. Don't forget why you started the business. Don't forget why you show up every day. Don't forget, right? Because it's all about serving. And it's easy to get trapped in I got to post, and taking the person out of the post. Like, why are you posting? Why are you guys who are here with me, whether it be live or on the replay, why are you guys here? Right? You think about that. Is it just to show up to another thing, or are you literally trying to make your life better? My heart and why I do my lives, and this is just realness, man. I want to make your life better. I want you to leave with something you didn't have beforehand. I want you to have value. I want you to be able to say, here's something I can implement in my business, in my life, in my, my sphere of influence, and something change. So that's why I show up every week. That's why I show up all the time, because I'm thinking about you. Because given the actual regular everyday life, and let's just be real, I like being lazy, right? Ever you like being lazy, but the deal is you have to show up, because it matters. People's lives matter, and on the other end of that showing up, somebody's life is going to be changed. So every post I make is thoughtful. It's not just random. Even when I'm posting like the really stupid memes or something, or stupid like GIFs, it's because I'm trying to make somebody laugh. It's like I just want to add value to you. I want to serve you. I have a unique skill set that's unique to me, right? Just like you have a skill set unique to you. And we're leveraging our skill sets in order to change lives. We're leveraging our skill set to really make that impact. Why God designed you and put you in the places you are. Some of you guys are in a place that you're like, well, I just don't know what I'm going to be doing, or I don't know what business I want to start, or I don't even know how leadership goes into all of this and how to even lead. But the deal is, guys, if you consistently show up, it'll start manifesting. It'll start showing up. It'll start appearing, right? Because what you do is produced from what's in you. But if you forget who you're serving, if you forget why you're doing it, and you let your ego drive you, and you let your, oh, I need everybody to look at me, or, oh, I need everybody to pay attention to me, or, oh, I need money in my business. And I'm like, people sense that. People sense that. And if they sense that in you, you don't make the sales, because people buy from people who they know, like, and trust, or they really get to a place where they think that you're going to change their lives. And if you come across desperate, if you forget who you're serving, then you're not going to make sales. You're not going to grow your business, because people know the thing on the other side, whether they can put words to it or not. And your business matters. Your business is out there to change lives. And so if you're going to leverage your social media, and you've already picked the platform of your choice, and you've already got out there and you're saying, this is what I want to do, and this is what I want to serve, and I'm going to become the expert in this field and all this stuff, and you've got all the details done, right? That's great. But don't forget, now or ever, whether you're at the 3-figure mark or the 10-figure mark, don't forget the people that you started your business to serve. Don't forget them. Right? Because we all get to this place where we sometimes forget. We all get to this place where we sometimes lose track of why we even did what we did, right? And I want you to understand that, and hear what I'm saying in that. So before we get into the last one or two, I want to just say hello, Michael. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. It is all about serving. Daryl, you guys. Freddie, I'm going to tell you right now, you do need to learn from number 3. Number 3 was, treat it like a business, man. That number 3 is your thing, dude. I want you to hear that from me, dude. Again, you're an artist, man. You make rhymes and raps and music and all this stuff. People, man, here's the deal for you. Let me speak life into you. Remember, this is all about life. Let me speak life into you. Guess what? you enrich people's lives. You help people get over that melancholy, that depression, those things that they're facing inside of a pandemic world where everything's crazy and everything's all over the place, and you bring entertainment and joy to people's lives. So yeah, get out there and make your tunes, and yeah, get a demo, and yeah, get your name out there and start using that as a way to leverage your business. Make a business out of it, man. Don't just do Instacart forever. Don't just do Uber Eats forever. Don't just do any of that, man. Leverage the business and build a business around what you love. And I'm going to tell you, when you build a business around what you love, you'll be fulfilled. You'll be content. Your business may make $100,000 a year, or it may not. That doesn't matter. What matters is you're content and you're living and you're learning. That's what matters the most. We get so wrapped up in money that we lose track, right? We lose track of what we're really here to do. If you do what you're here to do, not only will you be life and content and happy and joyful, you'll make money. Money always follows value, and if you add enough value, people will give enough money, right? So when people hire me to coach, they hire me because, or consult, they hire me because they see the value in what I bring, and they know I'll help them get a result. Value equals money. You can cry about money all you want, but if you're not bringing the level of value, you will never have the money. So for you, my brother, since you're in the entertainment business, you're bringing joy, you're bringing happiness. And so if you focus on that, then that's where you're going to find and give the people the most value. And I will speak life to you and to everybody else on this call, on this call. You see, I do a lot of coaching on this live show with this simple thing is like, listen, I know it's fearful. I know you're going to be afraid. I know there's that fear of rejection. There's that fear of, will people actually like me? Will people like this? Guess what? There will be some that don't, but that's okay. There's going to be dozens who do. Focus on the dozens and not the one, because the one who speaks negative or trolls you is because they're probably at a place where they wish they were you. So focus on the 12 or the 13 people who are like, man, this is the best thing ever, right? And just, you know what, pray for the one person who's like, man, you suck. But what do? We focus on the one troll, and we lose sight of the 12 people that we've made happy. 12 people's lives we changed. Flip that around. And I'm going right there with Michael too. Michael says speak. He says speak life first, and then he said focus on joy. Yeah, I love that, and absolutely want to focus on joy. I want to focus on speaking life. You know, we are conduits. Let me say it this way: we are conduits of blessing. And a lot of the problem is our conduit is closed because we're too afraid to take the step. And if you want to open up the conduit and be a blessing in people's lives, you've got to step out of your comfort zone, and you've got to get into this place where you're like, I'm just going to do it afraid. I'm scared to death. I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to be rejected, but I'm just going to do it afraid because I know on the other side of this, somebody's life is going to be better. Somebody's life is going to be enriched. Somebody's life is going to be different because you showed up. And that's what's really this is all about, man. And when you get into these places where you're leveraging social media, and we talked about several things, and I got one more for you, but when you're leveraging social media and you're, learning the platform and you're following the rules of the platform and all these things, you really come to this place where you're serving people, and you're getting to this place where you want to serve more people, right? But that comes on the back end of saying, I am who I am, and I'm going to do it afraid. Because if I can do it afraid, even though I am afraid, then I'll be less afraid as I do it more, and more people will be impacted by my life. And isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you're really here to do? Is to make your life matter, to feel significant, to feel like what you did changed somebody else's life, which eventually changed somebody else's life. That's what we all want. But it starts with showing up. It starts with showing up. And I will tell you, and Freddie, man, you're definitely welcome. Definitely. I see great things in you, man. And I see the talent. I also see the roadblocks, but, and man, I'd love to jump on a call with you. Let me know in the comments, or send me a message, and we'll jump on a call and I'll help you through some of that. But I could see the roadblocks, man. Many times the challenges in our life is a one roadblock away from being completely open. So you have that roadblock. The moment you get past that, you're open to like everything else, man. That's all it is. is you just get to that place. You just step onto the other side of it and it opens up to everything. That's where it is. That's where it goes. So let's do the last one. So here I said I was going to do a drum roll, and we're doing a drum roll. And I did it, and I hit my microphone. I punched myself in the ear, but I did it, and I did it on the rim shot, man. I'm excited. That was exciting. So, hey, listen, you live for things like this, right? So here's the thing. Here's number 5. Don't lose yourself. Don't lose who you are. And I think this is going to be the natural place where we go in the conversation. So you're serving people, you're online, you're doing the posting, and you're doing this, and yeah, you got your trolls, and yeah, you got your impact, and you got all these things happening. Don't lose who you are. The moment you lose who you are, you lost. Let me say that one more time. The moment you lose who you are, you've lost. And when this whole business building, this whole marketplace ministry, this whole thing that you're doing, the moment you lose who you are and your identity becomes your business, you have lost. Because there has got to be a place where you understand that you are not your business. You are not your business, man. You are not your business. I have to say that 3 times because some people are still sitting there and be like, but I'm my business. No, you are not. You are not your business. But what you are is a child of God. What you are is powerful. Who you are is amazing. You're a rock star. You know, all of these things. Who you are not your business. If your business shut the doors today, you don't lose who you are. If I never did another YouTube live, if I've never done another Facebook live, if I never showed up again on social media, I will still be who I am. I will never change who I am. Now, you may see different things that I promote on different platforms, but I will never change who I am. Because when something fails in life, if you make your identity the very thing that your business, your life, whatever that is over there, when it fails, you feel like you're a failure and your identity becomes that of a failure. And so we've got to divorce our identity from our issue. Meaning, like, here's a couple things you got to understand. So you guys who have illnesses, you are not your illness. Right? For the mental illness, you are not your illness. For the autoimmune, you are not your illness. For the business owner, you are not your business. For the church member, you are not your church. All of this stuff. You are somebody who owns a business. You are somebody who is challenged with a health problem. You are somebody who goes to church. These are important things because you can get lost in this world. You can get lost in the world of business, in the world of building, because then it becomes the obsession that you have to feel okay for yourself. And you got to feel good. You got to feel good. You got to make the sale. You got to do the thing, And it becomes a drug. And you get lost in the drug and the endorphins of the thing you're building, and you forget who you are, and who you are matters. People don't buy your business. They buy you. And if you are not somebody, if your business is something, I can't tell the difference between you and your business. I can't tell the difference between you as a leader, you as a manager, and the difference in that. People will no longer respect you. They will ultimately not buy from you. They will ultimately not listen to you. For you guys who are in management, the bottom line comes down to you are more than what you do. End of story. You are more than what you do. And I will say this, and I love how my brother here, Daryl, said this. He said, great key. Like, I'm not my business. So very important. I am not my past. Oh my goodness. Can we stay here for a second? We're going to stay here on this one for a second, because here's the deal. Some of you guys are like, but what if I did this in my life? Or what if I did that? Or what if this happens to you? One thing in your past does not dictate your future. Let me say that one more time. One thing that happened in your past does not dictate your future. Some of you are treating people poorly because somebody treated you poorly. Some of you are disrespectful to people who you think are taking advantage of you because you have been taken advantage of over and over, and you think that's how everybody's going to treat you. So you treat people with a lack of trust instead of giving them trust and letting them fail. They need to earn your trust, knowing they're never going to earn your trust, right? There are situations. Maybe you've been through abuse. Maybe you've been through sexual molestation. Maybe you've been through rape. Maybe you've been through racism. Maybe you've been through something terrible, something traumatic. That one person, that one incident does not dictate nor define your life, right? You don't have to define your entire present, your entire future based on one incident. Well, what if you it happened multiple times? That is an isolated thing that happened yesterday. That when I mean yesterday, I mean in your past, right? Your past does not define your future. Who you are defines where you're going. Now, remember that, guys. You get to choose how you show up. You get to choose how your business is going to look. And if it's going to be something as a reflection of your past, then ultimately your business is going to come across as arrogant, and it's going to come across as self-deflating, and it's going to come across as angry. Let's just get it to the realness. There are so many people out there who are doing business, and you're like, man, you just need to stop. You think this in your head because you're angry, and you're out there trying to fight like people who aren't even fighting you, and you're out there trying to argue this and do this, and you're like, why? And then you ultimately realize because somebody did something that hurt that person really bad in a past thing, and now they're treating everybody accordingly. And we all have that. We all get to this place where we've got to get over past mistakes, past issues. Even, let me say it this way, especially when people do things to us. If you've had something done to you, right? We need to forgive that person and move on. Why? Now I'm gonna come off of this thing right here because I don't want you to be distracted. I want you to say this. We move on from that person and we say this: they can no longer hold us hostage. That's going to be really, really important because when you hold forgiveness, you're allowing the person to hold you hostage, right? And if the person is holding you hostage, then therefore they have power over you. If they have power over you, then they dictate your life and they may not even be in your life. Understand that. They may not even be in your life, but they have power over your life because you've never let them go from your life. And there is this place where you can say, I forgive you, but I don't have to let you back in. I did that to my father. I haven't talked to him in, 40 years. I'm going to be, how old am I going to be? 43 this year. It's been 39, 40 years since the last time I saw that guy, right? A lot of things happen and more than I'll go into right now. And because of that, I said, you know what? Years ago, I said, I forgive him. Did I ever tell him? Did I ever call him, yo, man, I forgive you? No, I never did. But you know what I did? I said in my heart, I was like, I forgive him, but I don't have to let him back in my life. I don't have to reach out to them. That's okay because I put a line in the sand and I said, on this day, on this moment, here's my flag of victory because they no longer control my life. And how many of you want to get freedom? How many of you want to get to a place where they're no longer controlling your life? And if they're getting into this place if you're in this place where your past is dictating your present and your future, it means somebody is controlling your life that you need to let go. And that's really what it comes down to, guys. Letting go of the people that control your life. That's really what it goes. So let's acknowledge some of these guys. And remember, if you have any questions, drop them down. I always like this is my wife. So the good stuff. I am not my business. Absolutely. So let's see this. I tried too much to having been a teacher at one time, and when I couldn't be a teacher anymore, nor could I climb the ladder, I dreamed of being a principal. I felt like I had lost who I was. Again, so this is I love the honesty. I love the realness, and this is the perfect example. And thank you for sharing that, honey. This is the perfect example of when somebody makes their business or their dream their identity. When it doesn't come to pass, you lose who you are. Thank you for sharing that. I applaud you for your courage because that does take courage to share that stuff. Yeah. See, there's that thing. I hit the wrong button, I think, because there's also this one that does. There you go. Yeah, we want to honor you for that. So, and then here we go. Let's continue with this. Then I got extremely depressed and I felt like I lost my purpose. Oh my goodness. Can we go here for a second? I'm going to go here for a second. I'm going to go here 1 second for this because this is so important because I lost my what I thought my dream, so I felt like I lost my purpose. Your purpose is not what you do. We have been told, like specifically in church, your purpose is whatever. Your purpose is not what you do. What you do shifts. Like I'm a coach right now, but that may not be true in a year or two. My purpose is not what I do. My purpose is locked up in who I help. My purpose is locked up in what I'm designed to do, right? I'm designed to help people reach the next level with God, with their relationship with God, with their business, and get them to actually live out their purpose, right? My purpose is to help you find and live out your purpose, right? There you go. You're designing your purpose. But with that being said, because of that, when I live out my purpose, it could be a YouTube live show. It could be a coaching session. It could be from the stage. I do speak on stages. It could be as simple as being in a classroom and teaching. At the end of the day, what I do is only a reflection of who I am, not who. It doesn't mean that's who I am, but it's a reflection of who I am, right? Because I'm going to project who I am into everything I do, but it's also an avenue or a venue to release my purpose into that place in this season. So when I say that, it really comes down to this. If you are like a teacher right now, your purpose may be in your life is to help people, educate kids to their fullest potential. Let's just make that up. And teaching is a natural progression of that. So being a teacher is fulfilling your purpose only because your purpose is to help young minds shape and shift and become the next generation that they're supposed to be. Right? And being a teacher, I could teach older people, younger people, that doesn't matter. Listen, business people, I'm an entrepreneur, right? You're an entrepreneur. A lot of you guys on here are entrepreneurs too. Some of you guys do solar. Some of you guys do Instacart. Some of you guys do that. Listen, you have to find your purpose and how you were designed and how you're uniquely formed by God, right? And in that place, who you're uniquely formed to reach, that is your purpose. We put so much emphasis on what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? That is not what your purpose is. What you do is only going to flow from who you are. So the problem is the reason why you can't pick what you want to do is because you don't know who you are. So when you find the I know who I am, what you do is going to come like this. It's going to be so easy. So it gets back to the tracking to sit there and say, who am I? And who am I designed and uniquely gifted to reach? That is where you're going to find your purpose. That is where you're going to find. So Michelle says this. It says, I read a thing that said, trying to bring up my past is like trying to rob my old house. I don't live there anymore. I love that. How many else love that? Let's just give you a round of applause because I love that. Round of applause. Round of applause. But I love that because you're right. Don't rob your old house. You don't live there no more. You live in a better house. Yes, 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 yes. And then, of course, my wife is saying, I'm so glad you're speaking all this life. Hey, listen, I can't help myself. I need that sound coming up. But again, my wife, nope, not, I just played the imposter song for my wife. Yeah, that's my wife. You imposter. Nah, I was going to play this. See, she's speaking my language. She's like, thank you for speaking all that life. And I'm like, yeah, word of affirmation. Ding. Anyway. So let's see what some of you other guys have to say, and I'll give you one bonus, and then we'll call you a night. All right, that one thing that happened in my past doesn't dictate my future. Yes and amen. Freddie, that is kind of funny because your dad is my dad. So yeah, we got that right there. All right, and then of course we've got Daryl saying, "Yo, much love, Mary. Yo, yo, yo." All right, let's get into the bonus. You ready for a bonus one? We're going to do a bonus. Here we go. Here we go. We're ready. We're going to do it. Let's see if we get the drum roll without punching myself in the ear again. That was funny, man. Here we go. And I missed it by an inch. All right, we're close. We're getting better. By the end of my life, I will do that on key and on time, or I will have somebody else do it for me. Anyway, so here's the thing. Be fearless. Be fearless, guys. Be fearless. I want you to be like super fearless, man. Here, we get some Star Wars because Star Wars Jedi were fearless. They had no fear. And why do I want you to be fearless? Because here's the deal. Stop worrying about what people think, man. Oh my gosh. We spend so much time worrying about what the other person thinks about us that we never engage what we're supposed to be doing. Hear that right there. We spend so much time worrying about what the other person is thinking or what the other person thinks of us that we never engage what we're supposed to be doing. What you think about me really doesn't matter. I love if you think nice things about me. I love when you say nice things about me. But if you choose not to think nice about me or you choose not to say nice things about me, that's on you. If I allow those negative opinions to be on me, then it can keep me from my purpose. It can keep me from leveraging my business, growing my brand, right? Because I'm now in a place where your opinion matters more than the opinion of God on my life, right? When Jesus is like, this is what you're going to be doing, and then you're like, well, you can't do that, and I believe you more than him, then I'm saying you're more important in my life than he is. Well, guess what? Nobody's more important in my life than Jesus. And with that being said, guess you have an importance, but I don't hang on every word that you're saying. I don't your words do not become my identity. And I'm going to say this for all you guys, and this is just truth for all you guys who are married, you're in a relationship of some sort. My wife's words, as much as they mean to me, she is my best friend. She is the person I've dedicated my life to, and vice versa. But here's the deal. If she says something, it doesn't become my identity. I have every right to disagree with her. I have every right to ignore her. And she has every right to ignore me. She's not responsible for my reaction. I am not responsible for her reaction. But I value her opinion so much that I make sure I include it in all that I do. And she values my opinion so much that she does the same. But it's just that. If my opinion is negative or said from a bitter place, she doesn't have to receive that. I don't have to receive that. And when somebody receives that, right? And you're like, oh, they said this and it was bad and I don't want to do this. Guess what? You just given them power over your life. Nobody has the right to dictate who you are or what you're going to show up. When I look at the friends I have, people that have been broke, people like Tyler Perry, and I wish he was my personal friend, but he's not. But you listen to his story. He was like in this like homeless in a car, and now he's like a multi-billionaire. When you sit there and you some of you guys who have gone from nothing to something, these stories are powerful. Could you imagine if they listened to the critic? Could you imagine if you listen to the person that says, don't do that business because you'll never amount to anything? Could you imagine if he says, listen, your mental illness is too great. You'll never be healthy. You'll never do this. Do you imagine what your life would be? You would be stuck in a cycle of unending pain because you've never gotten past the fact that their opinion really doesn't matter. You get wise counsel from them, right? I ask you for what you think, but I don't need to implement what you think. I do receive what you think, right? Because the people I ask, I value their opinion. If I don't ask you, I didn't value an opinion. But here's the deal. We are not building our business for negative people. We are building our business for the people that want it. We're building our business for the people that need it. We are rising up as leaders for the people who don't know they need to lead. We are rising up for the people who are locked in chains, and when you show up, the chains fall away. Those are the people that I'm looking for. And I'm not going to stop because somebody said something mean about me. Right. And there's a time, guys, and I'm going to be just real with you guys, that I legitimately was such a people pleaser that I would like sit there and my whole actions would be based on what you thought about me. That's how much I needed people's approval. That was how much I was almost codependent. Like I was borderline codependent because I was living and dying on what people said. Because I had gone through a lot of things in my life to where I needed that because I didn't feel like I got that. So I needed people to dictate to me, like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you need? What do you need? Give me, because it gave me purpose. It gave me identity because I didn't know who I was. And I got lost in that. And then because of that, I didn't build my business. I didn't follow my music career. Matter of fact, I gave up singing and I gave up trumpet playing just because of what people said. I gave up being a business owner. Man, by the time I was 10, I had like 2 or 3 businesses that I already started and they were all making money. And then I gave up that for years, like 15, 20, 30 years before I decided that I should have been doing it. And these were friends. sometimes the people closest to you have the ability to hurt you the most. Not sometimes, all the time. But just because they're close to you doesn't mean they have the right to take you off God's path in your life. And there are going to be times where you've got to ask the question, is what I'm here to accomplish in my life greater than the people who are coming against me? And they may just be coming against you for that one moment. I mean, think about this. Jesus had that. For all you guys who are Bible guys, there's a story I remember in the Bible where Peter's like, yo, one moment he's like, yo, you're the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And Jesus was like, yo, God must have revealed that to you because there's no way you were getting that on your own, right? And so he went up, and then like literally 2 paragraphs later, he goes, stop, you can't do this, because Jesus had said, go, and I'm going to go and die and be risen from the dead. And Peter's like, yo, you can't do that. And Jesus turned around and he said, get behind me, Satan. Like in the same paragraph, same section, it was like, here's one moment. He's like, yo, you are like the most amazing Godhead, all this stuff, like the most amazing revelation. And then like literally 2 paragraphs later, he's like, you can't do this. And Jesus' response was, get behind me. No, you're not going to stop me from my purpose. But we get into these places where we allow others to stop us from our purpose. Now, I will say this. Let me give you a caveat. Be kind. Be kind. You do not have to be unloving to be straightforward and blunt. You can be loving and straightforward and blunt. And don't give up your direction for anybody's opinion. Don't give up Don't give up your direction for anybody's opinion. So I started with this, and I'm going to show us, and I'm going to end with this question, and we're just going to go up, and I'm going to put some music on. Let's hit some. What we listening to today? We're going to do. Now let's do a little rock. Yeah, I like the rock. We're going to do a little rock out today. See, there we go. So here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. How are you showing up? Let me do me a favor for you guys who are here, who made it to the end. Let me know in the comments, what is one thing that really spoke to you today and why? What was something that really spoke to you today and why did it speak to you? Because I want to hear your words. I want to hear you and why it mattered, right? Give me some of that great stuff that you've gained from today, because I want you to be leaving with something amazing. And so here's the deal. As we go forth to conquer, I want to tell you this. We do weekly videos. We do live videos, weekly videos every week on YouTube. Would love to have you come over, hang out with me here, see all the stuff I upload. I do post them on Facebook, but I'd love to be able to come over to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's in the comments, leadwithjim.live. I'd love to have you come over here. If you're on Facebook, I do have a Facebook group. It's called The Everyday Leader. Would love to have you be part of the Facebook group where we do things like this all the time, because I love community, love being in a relationship with you guys. And ultimately, remember, guys, you're building a business. If you've been following me for a while, you're probably an entrepreneur. You're probably somebody who is trying to start a side hustle and get out of your 9-to-5, or you're just like want that side hustle. There's some part of you that's entrepreneurial, and I want to excite that. I want to ignite that and become that entrepreneurial leader, to where you're leading in the space that God has placed you in the sphere of influence that God has placed you in, so that you become not only the greatest person at what you're doing, but you're also living out your dream and living out your purpose. That's really what it comes down to, guys. I love each and every one of you guys, and let's see in the comments, see if anybody's hit up here so we can go off on some good notes. Michelle is saying this. She said, I never thought about putting others' opinions above God's direction. That hit home. Yeah, you've got a story. Like, you've got a legit story. And as long as you're afraid to share that story, people are suffering. People are suffering. And they need your story, Michelle. They need your story. I love what Daryl said here. Daryl said this. It says, our response is our responsibility, 100%, my friend. So, guys, if that's it, with that being said, I love you each and every much. Oh, man, the music stopped early. So let's do the – oh, you know what we got? Guess what? We're going to leave on the Avengers note, because I'm a comic book nerd, and I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me on such a beautiful Friday night, for as long as we have. Guys, peace out, and I'll see you